Today, quickly, I want to explain how a Canadian like myself fell in love with the United States of America. Now, in public school, we got taught British and Canadian history, but always the United States of America was there in some capacity. And I can remember falling in love with John F. Kennedy when he beat Nixon, and I was Democrat for 56 years because I thought the Democrats were for the working man, and I thought the Republicans were for business. So I was always for the working man. But, excuse me, when I was 7 years old, you got to remember that back then I was 7, so this is 1960. You had half an hour news at 6 o'clock at night, and you had half an hour news at 11 o'clock, and that was it. But my family, children, 2 adults, I would finish dinner and we'd go and watch the news. And it was during that time, John F. Kennedy ran, like I said, I fell in love with the U.S. When I was 16, in 1969, I tried to join the U.S. Armed Forces, but because I was 16, I needed a parent's signature, and that wasn't forthcoming. I don't blame my parents, I understand. But I wanted to. When the Vietnam War came, we had a lot of draft dodgers, and I never got along with draft dodgers, and that's because I was for American. I went through Watergate and, everything that the U.S. Had going on. I followed it all. When CNN came on the scene, 24 hours of news, I was in my glory. I was in my heyday. Well, that was then. And it wasn't until 2016 when Donald Trump ran for president that I joined a group called Walkaway, organized and put together by Brandon Strack. And those are people that voted Democrat the whole life and walked away to the Republicans or independents, whatever they choose. But I have never, ever seen the vitriol. Now, I understand the mainstream news. Here's the president calling them fake news. Well, I understand that. And I was worried about it because I never seen a president take on the news like that. But if I'm a news organization, let's say CNN, I would have told, if I was running a show, I would have told those that are working for me, we gotta watch this guy. He's pretty media savvy, and we better double check our reports, etc. But that's not what happened. The mainstream media, upon hearing Trump challenge him, colluded with the Democrats. And they were the spokesman of the Democrats. And I hear that view all day. And luckily, in the morning when I get up, I go to Fox News. And I get the truth. So the reason why the mainstream media, CNN in particular, have lost so much um, viewership. That's because, and you see it at the rallies, how many people he gets out. That's because of the stance that the mainstream media took as being the spokesperson for Democrats. I still believe that in the election in 2020 November, that President Trump will have 93 million. I believe that. All the indications is there. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I love the U.S. You know, my whole life, I wanted the 10 provinces of Canada become states. It's not like the U.S. couldn't have took us on. Anyway, I'll talk tomorrow. Bye bye.